Well, I just heard the news today. It seems your life is about to change, 'cause it's Jive Talkin. Jive Talkin. Jive with me now, make yourself happy and good. Jesus Christ, that really fell apart. I tried to go over the eastern seaboard with it and kind of do like a Creed, because I played a goof on you guys. What I did was, I've got this story here. You're going, oh, okay, the first story is going to be Scott Stapp, Creed. Nope, it's going to be this one, Sabo, Skid Row. There's the Baz Man and the Skid Row. But welcome one and all back to another fine edition of the Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, episode 130. Jive Talkin, having a good time, doing lots of things, thinking about things. You know, you're opening your mind to new things and closing your mind to old things and old ways and bad behaviors. Well, I hope that's what you're doing. Before we kick this off, I do have a question to ask. I'd love for you to all get in the comments below. Tell me if this is a good thing or not a good thing to do, okay? And I know it's not a good thing to do, but I'm asking if it's okay if I do this. There's one bus driver that's a real prick. He's a real son of a bitch. In fact, when you go to get on the bus, he'll turn his head and look out the window. He wants nothing to do with anybody. And I always try and go, how you doing today, whatever, and he never answers. He always looks away. Yeah. Well, today this lady gets on the bus, and she's having problems with her phone or whatever, can't get the bill thing to pay for the thing. Just it's a bus ride, man. Let her go. But he starts getting real snappy with her, like, you got to get off the bus if you ain't, It's the first time the guy's ever piped up, ever. I've never even heard him pipe up ever, and the whole time he just turns his head away. When someone doesn't have the bus fare, that's when he comes to life. Well, what I was thinking of doing, and I had one all ready to go, but I didn't pull the trigger on it. But I said to myself, next time I get that guy, I think when I'm getting off the bus, I'm going to raunch a fart. Right there. Just right there where it's wafting, right there. So I want to get your opinion on that and tell me if it's like, don't stoop to that level of gassing the man. Think of the other lives that are on there, because he gets a good whiff of that, he drives straight off the road, whatever. But today I damn near let it go. I damn near just launched one right there. Like, you know what? For me, on behalf of me and that lady right there that was, wanting to ride the bus, I'm going to gas you, baby. I'm going to gas you good. But welcome. We've got all sorts of stories. Here's some of the stuff that we won't be talking about, but we've got Creed, and we've got Gene Simmons, and we got Mick Mars, and we got all sorts of stuff. But what we won't be talking about is Live Nation. The Department of Justice, or the Department of the United States, is going to be suing Live Nation because of all their fees and stuff, them and Ticketmaster. We won't be talking about any of that. That's boring. Right? Congratulations. I hope it happens. I can't, they tack on another $50-$70 to the ticket prices or whatever. You got to break that stuff up. So that way the little man can get in there and start up and say, well, we sell tickets too. We get our hands on some tickets and we sell them for pretty good, decent prices. What else are we going to talk about? New music coming from Seven Dust announced a new tour, and Johan from Avatar was going to explain to us why he didn't, or why there's so many heavy metal bands in Sweden. We're not going to be talking about that. Wolf Hoffman, he was going to explain to us why he didn't use his flying V's in the studio. It's because they're shit. You got to use the Fender Strat. Everyone knows that. Kerry King gets in there and plays a Fender Strat when he's in the studio. But we do have a lot of fun planned for you here. So I hope you breathe deep. Let it out. And just know for the next hour or so, no man or woman, child alive can do you wrong, okay? Nobody can do you. No. You know, you're gonna be okay here. I'm like fucking Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist. All are welcome. All are welcome. You know. Tell her if she doesn't come into the light, she's gonna get a spanking. I've never spanked my kids, man. Maybe we save that for good movies that are good, anyways. You know, from Mike Buchanan. I'm rattling, but it's time to rattle and roll with this story here, because. Well, the Snake Man Sabo says, ain't gonna happen. Mr. Sebatino, what we call him, he thinks he's gonna be doing this reunion, and I'm hoping they get into all of this because he says it ain't gonna happen. And if you remember, Sabatino was talking about it was just legal business stuff that we had to get through. Here we go. In a new interview with the Hook Rocks podcast, Skid Row guitarist Dave Snake Sabo was asked if he and his bandmates have targeted any new singers since Skid Row's latest frontman, the Swedish contestant Uns Erik Granwall, quit the band to focus on his health. Snake responded as transcribed by Blabbermouth. Well, we haven't targeted anybody. If we want to continue as Skid Row, we're going to have to get another singer. But we haven't targeted anybody. There's a lot of great singers out there, but Lizzie Hale, a Hailstorm, who recently played 2 shows with Skid Row, and we took a look at a video of her doing I Remember You, jaw-dropping, in her gothic outfit, her gothic spaghetti strap blouse. We're going to have to get another singer, but we haven't targeted anybody. There's a lot of great singers out there, but Lizzie Hale, let me just tell you a goddamn thing or two. Hailstorm, who recently played 2 shows with Skid Row as the stand-in singer, just raised the freaking bar, man. And Eric is a great singer. He raised the bar as well. And then Lizzie just came in here and she, quite frankly, really raised that. She really raised the bar. She really just raised the bar and showed us another side of this band, what another side of this band could be. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a male singer in Skid Row. The options are wide open. And like I said, there's so much talent out there, but we just want to make sure that we make the right choice. The healthy choice. A good, healthy choice. And that we can bring the band to another level. That's the hope. I mean, that's the hope. Pressed about whether anything has changed in terms of his thoughts about a possible reunion with the singer from Skid Row Classic era, Sebatian Bach, Snake said, well, the answer has been the same for, 20,000 years. It's not going to happen. And I say the same thing every damn time. I'm thankful I am thankful that people have such an interest in wanting to see that happen. But I also have to reiterate that this is about being happy in a situation that you're in. So I'll speak for myself personally. First of all, he's going to have first offs and second offs, and Rachel's down here too. First of all, I do need to say something too. Is that the reason that this isn't happening is because there's 3 of us, myself, Scotty Hill, Skid Row guitarist, and Rachel Bolin. He was the guy with the earring to the nose, right? Skid Row bassist, who had conversations about this, and we've all been on the same page that we don't want to go down that road again. We don't. Rachel has taken a beating over this through the years. Snake Sabo continued. He's the one who's been blamed for this. Oh, it's Rachel's ego. It's this and that. No, and that's a load of bullshit. I'm just going to say it right out. That's a load of BS. This is not true. And I feel bad because he's really, really, really had to shoulder the blame. And has never said anything derogatory or anything like that. But you know what? The truth of the matter is that Rachel, Scotty, and myself have continually felt the same way, that we enjoy being happy in this band, and we're really happy. He's saying it's not going to happen. One more bar here, and then we're going to get into something else. It's been such a great experience for the last, however, 35 years. I don't know who's keeping track. Everything, all the ups, all the downs, all the ins, the outs, everything. But we just don't want to revisit that particular aspect of our history. I love the songs. I love a lot of the memories. I am not fond of some of the memories. But just as individuals and as a collective, that's just how we feel. So this is not on Rachel. You leave him alone. And this has nothing to do with anyone's ego or anything like that. So that's just got to be clear. Again, for anyone to sit there and make assumptions that this is Rachel Bolan, you're going to fucking make an assumption that it's Rachel Bolan's fault? Saying, nope, it's not. It's the three of us. I'll go ahead and make that statement right now as Snake Sabo. I'll say it's all damn three of us. Scotty with an I. Scotty spells his name with an I, with a little heart over the top of the I. And Rachel Bolan. All three of us. We stand together on this issue, and we wish everybody all the best. I say good day to you, sir. Wow, he really got worked up there. Creed. Here's Scott Stapp. We're getting into this because he said it frustrated him, the anger and the hurt over being the most hated band in the media. Well, it was kind of a battle royale between them and Nickelback. But now Nickelback's cool again. And I think it was just, all they had to do is just that singer had to cut that bob hairdo that he had. You know, as far as Creed or Nickelback goes. You know, as soon as he got rid of that bob haircut and just kind of shaved it, crop-topped it up, put a little frost in there, everyone was like, they're the coolest dudes ever. I just saw a clip of that comedian. What's his name? Sebastian, I don't know, it's an Italian name, I can't say it. Manahana Huda, Sebastian whatever, that comedian. I saw a little clip, little TikTok or something where Scott Stapp was sitting in the audience and he goes, aren't you the guy, the Creed singer for Creed? He's like, I broke up with my girl on the 305 and that song was playing. With arms wide open. It's pretty good. The most hated band in the media. Let's see what he's got to say. He's back at it. Creed's back at it. Tremonti's taken time to squeeze in Creed between the 1,000 projects that he does. In a new interview with Consequence, Scott Stapp. Ooh, Consequence. That's quite prestigious, isn't it? Ugh. Isn't that a prestigious.com? Consequence of Sound. They used to be Consequence of Sound and they changed it to Consequence. Scott Stapp was asked if the enthusiastic response to Creed's current reunion serves as vindication for the singer and his bandmates after they experienced a good amount of backlash following their initial commercial success. He responded, well, to comment on the word what you just said, vindication, vindicate. I don't have time in my life nor space in my heart to ever think about vindication. So I'm just looking at everything from a positive perspective and not a way of kind of told you so. That's not who I am. That never entered my mind. I think the initial backlash, some of it was just part of being so big so fast. 8 straight #1 singles, he explained. I mean, we were all over the radio. You couldn't escape us. I think the initial narrative was completely created by kind of the elite critical media. Maybe even like Consequence of Sound of music. Was it Consequence of Music? Consequence might have been there saying all them kinds of shitty things about me. Let's go back through your search bar, Consequence. Let's go back and look up Creed stories. See if the critical media was making jokes about us back in 2005. Kind of the cool guy club who liked bands that didn't sell a lot of records. So it was a narrative that was kind of generated by the niche, the media, and that propagandized out there to make people think that that was the voice of the people. As the narrative was being put out there, we were selling out multiple nights of arenas, releasing diamond records, and had stadiums on hold. On hold. Is that Madison Square Garden calling? Put them on hold. Is Madison Square Garden a stadium? I don't think it is. So, it didn't even line up at all with the masses. Again, it was a media-generated narrative. And once that kind of gets out there, it just gets hammered home. You'll always have the fringes that come out on both sides. But it didn't represent the people. And Creed has always been a people's band. I think they played their first shows on a cruise ship, didn't they? I mean, the reunion they're doing, and that's what meant so much to us. We're the awards and the recognition that we got, that the people chose, and that the numbers said, and that the concert tickets said. So that's really my perspective on it. For 1,000-foot view, what? From 1,000-foot view. But at the time, it definitely kind of caught all of us off guard. We didn't understand because we went from being on the cover of a magazine, on the cover of the Rolling Stone, on the cover of the magazines that said, Creed, the savior of rock and roll, to all of a sudden, the most hated band in the media. Not by the public, by the fucking media. So it was just kind of like, hey, this doesn't line up with our rock and roll dreams. What's going on? You tell it to him. What's he got to say here? Ooh, he says, being that young age, of course, there was some frustration, anger, hurt, Stapp admitted. But being where we are now, we kind of know that that's just what comes with it. It's just part of the deal. I mean, it happens in pro sports. Mark Tremonti, you know him. Been 1,000 bands. He's in Tremonti. He's in Alter Bridge. He's in some other damn band. He's also sings like Frank Sinatra. You know, the Creed guitarist. And we were doing an interview the other day. And he was talking about how this happened with LeBron James. He goes from King James, and then now he gets hate. Does he? I'm not into the basketball, but I thought everyone just thought he was the cat's meow there. It was like, he's better than Michael Jordan, dude. He's freaking good. You seen him play? He's pretty good, dude. Is he for the Lakers? He's one of the most hated players in the league. And it's all because of how dominant and how successful he is. And so it's just par for the course. It just comes with the territory. And being more mature and older now, all that matters is the fans. And all that matters is riding on the positivity and then just trying to deliver to the fans every night and focus on what's good and just let all that stuff go. It doesn't hurt anymore. It doesn't hurt anymore. Creed played hey, how good am I? Creed played its first 2 shows in 12 years last month at the headliners of the Summer of '99 cruise. You guys might say, well, this guy's no good on his podcast that I listen to religiously. He's no good. He's not good at podcasting. It doesn't sound all that great. He's just reading stories from the fucking internet. It's not a good podcast. But every once in a while, a little treat comes along. I give you a little something. And you go, by God, he really is good. So there you have that. Gene Simmons. There's Gene Simmons. He says, oh yeah. Gene loves that. Oh yeah. Every time Paul says, I want to come out there and see you. Oh yeah. Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin guitarist, gave him the highest compliments, in fact, about his bass playing. Not about his singing, not about his sexuality. Yeah. What is my... Boom, boom. It's about his bass playing, guys, so we're going to get into it. Gene Simmons says Jimmy Page gave him the highest compliment you could possibly give about his bass playing. During an appearance on the latest episode of The Adam Carolla Show, Gene Simmons reflected on what he called one of the most iconic moments of his life involving another legendary rocker. Oh! The 74-year-old Kiss bassist vocalist said, as transcribed by Blabbermouth, Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page, for those of you who are 20 years old. No, I can't really do Gene Simmons, okay? Jimmy Page... For those of you who are 20 years old, the guy invented more riffs than any other person on the planet. Are you familiar with that? Led Zeppelin, the man. He's great at building that. I'm about to receive a compliment. So the complimentor must be brought up into a frenzy and a froth and make it bubble over like a big, horn of mead. So when I give you the compliment, you go, wow, really? That accomplished person gave you an Led Zeppelin, every song, just more riffs than anybody. Every song was like that. So he came to see Kiss perform quite a few times. In face paint, Jimmy Page down there in the front row. And we became friendly. And I introduced my son, Nick, to him, who was so awed, he started crying in front of Page. He's, Dad, who is this old man? He just touched me wrong. No, he didn't. Of course, Nick is going to torture me. Oh, okay, so he's because Nick, he makes his kids listen to every podcast he's on. He started crying in front of Jimmy Page. Little Nick did. But he's a grown man now. Jimmy says, hello to my son, Nick. Oh, how are you? He's crying his heart out. He didn't know what to say. Of course, Nick is going to torture me now. He is just going to plumb torture me now. Because I'm telling you all this. And I make him listen to the podcast. So he's going to know. Because I'm embarrassing him. So, Page came to see us the first time when we played London's Wembley Stadium. He came to see us some other times when we were there, and he came up to me after the show, my hand to God, and said, without doing an English accent, he said, mate, you can give the Who's original bass player, John Entwistle, a run for his bleeding bloody money. And I was just about ready to pass out. I damn near fell over flat. That's not true, of course, but the fact that he would even say that, that's the highest compliment for me. Because John Entwistle's your favorite bassist ever. The only higher one might be Paul McCartney coming over and saying, you're doing a good job, because nobody played bass the way Paul McCartney do. Because you can hear a song and remember that bass part that McCartney played. Yeah. And, there's a bunch of them. And that one that goes... I love McCartney wrote that. Did you know it? I'm losing my mind. In 2018 interview with Radar, Music Radar, is he going to confabulate his lies? Simmons was asked for his opinion on the pick versus finger question. Oh, okay. When it comes to playing bass, he plays with a pick. Respectfully, studio musicians who play with their fingers live have no idea that we can't hear what they're playing. That's not true. Steve Harris. Because there's no actual definition on the notes that's coming out. You can do that and love it and have no fucking idea what he's playing, but you love that low end, or you can be like Chris Squire and have a very bright sound. where you can hear the attack. Therefore, hear the notes that are actually being played. I mean, a piano is a percussive instrument. It really is, isn't it? And you can hear every single note because there's a definition when the player hits the note. We got to take it from this guy because Jimmy Page says that he's as good as John Entwistle. So you got to take him for it. Remember when we did Kerry King's Residue video? We did a reaction video to it. And there was a lot of fire. And I said that before the video even started. I said, you're going to see a lot of smoke, a lot of fire. You're going to see, perhaps flaming. You're going to see a lot of flames and fire. Kerry King loves it. Well, he's going to explain it. Kerry King on the use of fire during live shows. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand with this kind of music. Let's have a little shot of my Dr. Pepper. I mean, I hate to say the name brand, but I'm going to put it up to my lips. You're going to see the bottle. But it's that strawberries and cream. Man, it's good. Oh, man, it's good. It's just delightful. And I got to tell you, the bastards over there at the 7-Eleven by my house, they took one full rack of the strawberry cream out to put that damn coconut shit. Get it out. I go over to that shelf every day. I'm looking at it. You haven't restocked the coconut. Ain't nobody buying it. Throw it out. Put the strawberry back. Thank you. In a new interview with Full Metal Jackie, nationally syndicated radio show Slayer guitarist Kerry King spoke about his love of concert pyrotechnics and the use of fire in the Residue music video for his solo band. I wonder if they watched is it possible that Full Metal Jackie watched my reaction video and then said, this is cutting edge what he's saying here. I need to ask Kerry about it because I'm going to have him on. And I watched Shane's reaction video and I thought it was great. Asked where his love of pyros started, Kiss, and what type of things he likes to see the most out of a live show production, Kerry responded, I enjoy seeing everything in a live show production. I do. Not necessarily in my own show, but video screens are very effective. I think that's a very common go-to. And I don't think that every time you see a video screen, the video content's that great. What? I don't think that every time you see a video screen, the video content's that great. Sometimes it looks like they mailed it in. Is that the phrase? Sometimes it looks like they mailed it in. So I didn't want that. Fire! It is what it is. You know what you're going to get. There is no mailing in fire. It's there. It's awesome. It is what it is. It heats things. It heats the place up. It goes hand in hand with this kind of music. When I think of fire, I think of bands like Black Sabbath. I think of Venom. I think of Slayer. And that's being part of my pedigree. That's where my love of fire comes from. I'm sure. Is he a firebug? Is he out there lighting fields on fire, lighting tire fires and stuff? I may have mentioned this once before, but there was this kid named Clint when I was growing up, man, and he was the goddamn devil. If there was a Damien, if you could shave that kid's head, you'd see sixes on it. He was, it's like, by 6th grade, they were like, out. He's got to go. And one thing that he did, I'll tell you, this is how crazy this Clint kid was. He was collecting everyone's straws, for your little milk when you're having lunch in elementary school or whatever, and you open the container up, but you get a little straw. He was collecting everyone's straws. Why? Because they perfectly fit around 22 bullets that he was then lofting into the air, and then they would whiz down and go off. The reason why I mentioned Clint is because of the tire fire, when he says, we talked about fire. And this kid shows up, and you're just riding your bikes around or whatever, and there's this massive field that has like 1,000 I mean, it's been 30 years, so I don't think that anyone's going to come and arrest me. But there's this field and these tires piled up. And I am not kidding you. This kid shows up and he's standing there in the middle of this field, and then out of nowhere, we look over at him and he's lit a bunch of the dead weeds in his hands on fire, and he's swinging it around going, look! And then just boom. And I ran. I ran for my life. I ran because it was the summer. And I ran because if I was going to get caught up in that, I was going to be grounded all summer, and I was not to do it. I will not do that. And I will not fall on that sword for that kid. If he's around today, he's fucking killed someone. And keeps their torsos, you know. He's like, oh, I don't like the hands and feet and head. That's grody. Having them around? No, I just keep the torsos. Fire is what it is, you know. You know what you're going to get. There's no mailing in fire. Yes, okay, we got that. King's debut solo album, From Hell I Rise, was released on May 17th via Raining Phoenix Music. That's a fiery logo. Joining Carrie in the band, Mark Osigueta, vocalist, Death Angel, Phil Demmel. I couldn't remember the bass playing guy. Phil Demmel, Machine Head Violence. Kyle Sanders, bassist for Hell Yeah. And drummer Paul Bostoff from Slayer, Testament, Exodus. Of course. We're getting into Mick Mars here. We got your comments, and we also we're gonna see if they said they use Ozzy's Black Sabbath's Iron Man's Iron song to try and get a bear out of a tree. I wanted to look at that and see if anything comes of it. This is Mick Mars, looking like Mick Mars do, and I thought this was interesting. He said he never read the Dirt, the official Motley Crue biography. He never read it. Not into it. I lived it. He's going to say that somewhere in here. I lived it. Why do I need to read it? In a new interview with Matt Pinfield from 95.5, he's getting all the guests, isn't he? I bet you Eddie Trunk's over there going, man, fuck that Matt Pinfield. He can fuck off. He's getting all the interviews. And he's probably upset with Mick Mars, because Mick Mars and Ace Frehley go on the Eddie Trunk show all the time. He's like, that motherfucker's going over there and talking to Matt Pinfield. I'll just say it right now, Mick Mars can kiss my ass. In a new interview with Matt Pinfield, 95.5 KLOS, new and approved, yes, show Motley Crue guitarist Mick Mars was asked about the first time he read the band's official biography, The Dirt, Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band. He said, I did not. Well, to be honest with you, and I feel quite at home with you, Matt Pinfield, so I shall tell all. I'll be honest, I didn't read it. I've still got I don't know how many copies of the original one. When you write a book about the band that you're in, you see, they send you copies, perhaps to give out as Christmas presents, maybe, or to friends and family. I don't know how many copies of the original one. I haven't really dug into it or anything. I probably will at some time. Sometime, yes. Like when I'm 90 or something. The Dirt is the outrageous, legendary, no-holds-barred New York Times best-selling book of Motley Crue. Fans have gotten a glimpse into the band's crazy world of backstage scandals, celebrity love affairs, roller coaster drug addictions, and drum sets, and immortal music in the dirt. Since 2001, when the book first came out, the autobiography of Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, Vince Neil, and Mick Mars featured the full spectrum of sin and success. as well as the cautionary tales about the rock and roll lifestyle. I think it's pretty safe to say that most of those Motley Crue fellas would tell you, I shouldn't be alive right now. And Nikki Sixx has died like 4 or 5 times. In 2019, the Dirt Confession of the world's most notorious rock band. Who's the most dangerous band? The world's most dangerous band. Is that Elvis's band? Why does that sound familiar? The world's most dangerous band. Was made available in audiobook format from Harper Audio and Day Street Books. The multi-voice edition was performed by Sebastian York, Roger Wayne, Fred Berman, McLeod Andrews, and Hillary Huber. Who's Hillary's Huber doing? Sixx told Variety that Motley Crue tossed around the idea of narrating the audiobook themselves. Oh, I would have loved to hear. Did Vince do his audiobook? I might listen to that if that's the case. It just didn't feel right for us. If you don't mind me saying, it just didn't feel right for us, he added. That he and his bandmates pushed for an audiobook when The Dirt was first released, but in the pre-streaming audio era, there was a small demand for such books on disc. There wasn't a big enough audience to invest in it, he said. How much would you pay Vince Neil to sit down a couple of hours and read? That's got to be pretty spendy, right? But with technology advances, fans demand now that fans are demanding a movie now. It was a great opportunity to release this now. There you go. Oh, I was going to say Robert Cavuto. Who's that? We're not going to even get into that. Guys, let's watch this bear, and then we got your comments. I don't know how short or long this is going to be, but, it is what it is, right? You guys don't hold no judgments against me, and I appreciate that. We've got your comments here, and it's really the best part of the whole thing, okay? Here you go. We got Fox Weather Channel? Ozzy Osbourne, no match for stubborn Colorado bear. So we know the answer. The bear's not coming down. But let's watch this video. It says Ozzy Osbourne, Rangers with Colorado Parks and Wildlife attempt to use Ozzy Osbourne's dramatic vocals to coax the sleeping animal out of a neighborhood tree in Golden, near the Colorado School of Mines. They teach kids to coal mine there? Colorado School of Mines, M-I-N-E-S. Either way would be better if you said Colorado School of Mines, as in your brain, or Colorado School of Mimes, where you do that, where you don't speak, but you go, I'm in a fucking glass box. Look at me. I mean, that's the only real thing that mimes can do, right? They can do, look at me, I'm in a glass box. You can do, oh, I'm in a telephone booth on the phone, and you can do the pull of the rope. That's it. Maybe fake juggling. Who gives a shit about that? Let's go.
You got your music cued? Yep.
Tim, you got the music cued? Is that an alien? Is that a UFO in the sky there? I can't see that damn bear. Oh, there he is. By the way, you won't see any of this. That's a damn UFO in there, the sky.
In his head, we got a problem.
Are you kidding me? That's a goddamn UFO right there. Fuck the bear. That's a UFO.
I think he sees probably too many people around him.
Oh, is that a
I wonder
helicopter?
if those people are still on that deck. Do you know if...
Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Well, it got down. Look, there's a picture of Ozzy. And there's the bear. Was he going up the tree or down the tree? Who knows? It's that time. It is that time. It's the fine time. It's the best time of the podcast. It's your comments, your listener feedback, as it were. We're going to get into it right here, right now. Alien Pizza Zombie. We love your channel, bro. Oh, this guy's getting a thumb. And he's already got a thumb, but he's getting a heart and a thumb. I'll tell you that right now. We love your channel, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. You always make me laugh when your jokes and hilarious impressions. Great rock news, great host, and what more do you need on a Saturday morning? My God, you have won some awards. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Miss Althea coming in, and look at that. I can click that little read more there, and it's all there. And so let's get into Miss Althea's goods here. The Dumbstruck Fool says, I demand that I Was Made for Jivin' You be included as a bonus track on an anniversary edition of Kiss's Dynasty album. That damn thing is going to be 45 years old on May 23rd. And you know what? It's kind of my go-to record. I love that song, Charisma. And then even Peter Criss had a good tune on there. And you had 2000 Man, right? From I Was Made for Loving You. That's fine, whatever. But then you had Charisma. That was great. And was it 2000 Man that was on there by Ace Frehley? And then even Peter had a good tune. What I can't remember what it is, but congratulations on that. And maybe they will add it. Maybe they'll add my version. Who knows? Paul might go, I think we're going to do it. Gene says, oh yeah. I think we're going to put Shane on the 45th anniversary Dynasty. Oh yeah. Miss Althea says, hopefully by the time this comment is read, there will have been some positive follow-up news about Ozfox. All the best to him. And there is, and I believe that he is doing well. Ozfox, Striper guitarist, brain surgery, and without complication, I do believe. Because when I looked up news stories today, I didn't see anything going, oh my God, the horror. Miss Althea on Bruce Kulick. He thankfully validated everything I have been saying for months. He was being way too generous by referring to the final show at MSG as a missed opportunity when much stronger words could have and probably should have been used. And yes, thank you for linking me to the mention of the love of my life, Eric. The Eric Man Carr. Miss Althea on Vince Neil. Yeah. Feelings are good and other lies. To quote the title of a solo album by Duran Duran's John Taylor, I didn't really get anything about feelings with that story, nor did I get anything valuable about his preparation. Yeah, what did he say? His preparation for a show. Yeah, he says, I just get my ears good and stuff, right? He just gets it good on stage. He says, I just get my ears good and stuff. She's got a big yawn. Yawn. No. I almost felt like I was going to yawn there. Agreed on the wonderful Karen Carpenter, and may she rest in peace. Her music and her brother Richard was a huge part of my childhood. Okay, she's naming songs. Close to you. Because we were talking about Karen Carpenter being a badass drummer. And I believe she sang these songs and played the drums with her brother Richard. What else was there? Close to you. Then there was, we've only just begun. Rainy days and sun Mondays always bring me down. And Superstar. And that one doesn't ring a bell. Were just a few of their many hits. Miss Althea on Scott Ian and Carrie King. Some thrashy social media mudslinging? Yeah, okay. I find it comical to the point of even Satan himself responding to posts with the devil emoji. Well, Scott Ian, he sent him an email saying, you made me look like a jerk. Because I just says, yeah, that'll be today. Slayer getting back together. Let me tell you something, buddy. Where the rubber meets the road, when Slayer says they are done, they are done. Oh, Miss Althea on Point Break. Point Break was the Keanu Reeves movie that was escaping you. Yes, and yes, Patrick Swayze, rest in peace, was his co-star. As you may recall, Anthony Kiedis had a bit part in it. Vaguely. And Rat's Nobody Rides for Free was on the soundtrack. Oh. Do they ever do a video for Nobody Rides for Free? Miss Althea says, I'll take Potpourri for 200. Stay with me on this one, Diablo. You had Vanity confused with Apollonia. I knew it. She was the one who emerged out of the lake in Purple Rain. From the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s, she was married to actor Kevin Bernhardt, who was on General Hospital right around the same time as John Stamos. John Stamos was on General Hospital. Also at around the same time, John's Full House wife, and your TV crush, Lori Loughlin, was on The Edge of the Night. And that had... Did The Edge of the Night have Archie Bunker in it? Which followed General Hospital in most TV markets. Oh, and Jessica Alba, ? I will be totally honest and qualify her as a girl crush for me. Well, I also watched Dark Angel, but became more invested in season 2 when the delicious Jensen Ackles... Hold on a minute. Is that the guy that played Hannibal? And I think he was in one of those Alien movies. Hannibal on the TV show? Is that him? Because I can see a face, and I'm thinking Jensen Ackles, that's him. Jensen Ackles joined the cast. I agree, it wasn't that strong of a show, and I wasn't surprised when it got the can, but come on. Oh, that's good. You guess... Yep. All around today, baby. You're getting the thumb, you're getting the thumb. You're getting the heart, you're getting the thumb. Lupine coming in. Shane's the guy who walks into a bar and never has to pay for drinks. I don't walk into bars anymore. I think I've written that off completely. Unless some kick-ass, I can't say that. Because sometimes thrash bands and shit like that, they play 21 plus. But... You're not wrong, Lupine. You're not wrong. Shane's the guy who walks into the bar and never has to pay for drinks. Such a character, but you can still tell he's a good guy. Thank you. And compliments get you everywhere. There's a thumb for you. We're going all the way down. Sticky Doll here. Got some stuff. Kiss's final show and future plans are sad and kind of pathetic. Ace needs a reality show ASAP. I agree. Just put cameras in his house and let him go, just like Osbourne's. It would be a huge hit. Shane, the live video podcast game is a bitch. The algorithm game is frustrating. Keep on keeping on like we do. Yeah. There are ups and downs, but the numbers will continually rise over time, just like real estate. We truly love your show. Oh, you guys, don't get me teared up. And will always be support. Maybe you can be a call-in guest on our show sometime, and we can discuss Glenn Danzig's lame ass and Kerry King's enormous fake plastic chain on his trousers. Yes, trousers. Yeah, it's a good word. The end. You know what? I will do that. One of these times. I can't say how about the next one, but maybe I will call in one time. And really get into the Glenn Danzig stuff. And a heart. There you go. Thumb and a heart. Thumb and a heart. And Mike Buchanan coming in. And would you look at that? He's got his Jive Talkin jokes. I did see that he was on here, so there's no reason to throw a full-on panic at, when we first got to the comments, because he usually pops up to the top, but he's been a busy guy. Guess I'm the victim of this week's missing post, so I'll just add that I wrote last videos minus the comments on the stories. I'll add more after the jokes, just so you'll be confused and talk for like an hour. I had a movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, all typed out and ready for you to go this week, but I deleted that as I learned of the passing of a legend in the B movie world. Roger Corman died. Oh, he was an old coot. He is considered to be king of the B movies, yes. He was a director, producer, actor, and stuntman, and is the reason why I am such a huge B movie fan. If you get the chance to go watch Corman's World, Exploits of the Hollywood Rebel, a documentary of the life and times of Roger, some of his credited movie and TV movies, Day the World Ended, Swamp Woman, It Conquered the World, Attack of the Crab Monster, The Undead, She Gods of Shark Reef, A Bucket of Blood, The Little Shop of Horrors, Bloody Mama, Death Race 2000, Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3, all of the Sharktopus movies on Sci-Fi. I could go on and on, but you'll be here reading movie names for hours. The B movie world will live on because of men like Roger Corman and old Kaufman. And my passion for bad B movies will only grow stronger. Roger, you were and always will be my go-to guy for bad B movies. You will be missed by many, but specifically me. Thanks for the show. R.I.P., you good sir. That's good. That's lovely of you. And he wasn't kidding. He's got stuff down here. Okay, jokes. It's time for the Jive Talkin jokes of the week. If you're like wondering what the hell's going on right now, well, this is Jive Talkin jokes of the week every week. Mike comes up with the jokes and they're here and we read them. And now last week's Jive Talkin jokes of the week because they weren't there. My friend Jack claims he can communicate with vegetables. Jack and the beans talk. The man who invented throat lozenges died last week. There was no coffin at the funeral. Today I had someone knock on my door asking for small donations towards the local swimming pool. So I gave him a glass of water and told him to have a nice day. Have I been sitting like this the whole time? So you're only going to see half my face? Just when you think that food cannot possibly call you on your phone, boom! Onion rings. A shark could swim faster than me, but I could outrun a shark. In a triathlon, it would come down to which of us is the better cyclist. That's pretty good. A shark could swim faster than me, but I could outrun a shark. So it'd come down to I think the shark's got it. They can use them little fins. And finally, my friend asked me, how do you get down from an elephant? I said, you don't. You get down from a goose. I laughed and laughed. Heck, man. When is Jive Talkin opening theme album coming out? Oh, I'm already on to this other thing. What? I didn't understand this joke. My friend asked me, how do you get down from an elephant? I said, you don't. You get down from a goose. I laughed and laughed. I'm lost on that one. I'm going to need you guys to help me. Heck, man, when is the Jive Talkin opening theme album coming out? I'm surprised that you guys like the half of these because they're really, I really goof them. I'm better at them before I start going. And here's the extra Mike Buchanan stuff. On the Oz front, as this is the day after now, he is doing fine. I saw a live video from him, and he was at In-N-Out Burger having a good greasy hamburger after brain surgery with his wife. Looks like the surgery went very well. He's Here's to healing and a better life. I totally agree with Bruce on the Last Kiss concert. It would have been amazing to see all the former members perform in one last encore song. I mean, all of them out there on stage. God gave rock and roll to you, hugging, confetti, Ace, Peter hugging, Gene comes over, oh yeah. They're all hugging each other, and their God gave rock. And they're just waving at everyone, and then they do a bow. Wouldn't that be nicer? Some goddamn cartoon popping up on there going, "We are immortal." I'm saying you're not wrong, okay? What song would that have been? Well, I just said it. Okay, we'll read that again. I totally agree with Bruce. At the Last Kiss concert, it would have been amazing to see all the former members in one last encore song. What song would that have been? It would have been Bruce Kulick's God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And then he would have said, I demand that you take it off your avatar thing right away. Mike Buchanan says, hearing that lawnmower reminds me that I have to go cut my grass. I'm sorry. And you know what? Now it's probably grown out again. You got to go cut it again. Okay, I think this comment has gone on long enough. I'll be back next week with a doozy of a movie that are bad, but we love them anyways. Think Vampires Meet RoboCop meets Kung Fu. It's glorious. Is it that Danzig movie? If you want to see some truly bad movies, go watch those Veronica movies. They're bad. And he directed them, produced them, everything. Anyways, welcome. Thank you. I mean, we're over the welcoming part. We're to the end part now. Whatever you do, don't let them get you down, okay? You can't bring me down. Suicidal tendencies, I'll always say it. Mike Muir and Suicidal Tendencies said, you can't bring me down. If people give you grief in your life, get them out. Don't deal with them. Say, I grant myself the gift to not care. It's the greatest thing you can do. Care about yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. You never do that when you're brushing your teeth in the morning. You never look, you're always looking down at the sink or something, going, fuck my life, I gotta work or whatever. Sit there and brush your teeth and look at what you're doing. And look in your eyes and say to yourself, you know what? I like me exactly the way I am. Sure, I could fix a few things, and I will. But I like what I see in the mirror. Telling you. Got to get right with yourself before you can get right with anybody else. You got to be happy. You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Come on. I want a song. Come on, baby. Come on. DoorDash is here. They got the fucking order wrong again. Talking with your friend Shane. I know sometimes you might feel like you're going insane, but you're not. You're getting things figured out with your brain. Good times, it's a 5-star review on Spotify, it's easy to do.